Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome once again to another quick shot review. Today we're going to be looking at the Matrix Resurrections. Don't know why there's an S on the end. Of course, there is many resurrections in this film, and sometimes it just loses the blood to the tip. But is this a complete dud? Is this something, assuming it's real, of course, it is The Matrix, is this a film that you should go and watch? Well, my thoughts are on the way in the main part of the video, but first, some shameless plugs. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Quick Shot Reviews, the dedicated movie channel for Cheap Shot Entertainment, and we've also got a video games channel, that's Cheap Shot Entertainment System, as well as the main channel Cheap Shot Entertainment, concentrating mostly on the wrestling type stuff, all the things that I enjoy doing. Anyway, so Matrix Resurrections, is this one a dud? Is it going to be something spectacular? Was it worth the wait of 22 years? Find that in the main part of the video. So, The Matrix Resurrections was released in 2021. It's a good 2.5 hour film. I miss the days of an hour and a half, to be honest, because this one had a lot of exposition and a lot of talking. Now, it's not something I think of when I think of The Matrix. I think of slow motion and action sequences and just people kicking ass, because that is The Matrix to me. But this is The Matrix Resurrections, and a return to a world of two realities, because that's The Matrix. The Matrix was not an actual reality, it's an alternative reality. Think Spider-Man and the multiverse. Realities, everyday life, and the other, what lies beyond it. To find out if his reality is a construct to truly know himself, Mr. Anderson, the maker of a video game, will have to choose to follow the White Rabbit once more. I would say the best part of this film is the use of White Rabbit on the soundtrack, because that song is awesome. Although it is about taking hallucinogenic drugs, but it's very 60s and it's very cool. It's a good film. It's a good soundtrack. That's pretty much the only thing I'm going to say for this film. I like Keanu Reeves, always have, always will. Lana Wachowski is inherited what the Wachowski brothers had set up in Matrix and all of the coming sequels, as well as the game. And yeah, they just need to kind of disappear now. She was also known for Jupiter Ascending. Again, not a great film. I'm surprised Channing Tatum is even still around. He's not around that much, but yeah, that film sucked and blowed all at the same time, which is kind of phenomenal. It's a phenomenon that is very rarely repeated anyway. So writers based on characters by the Wachowskis, David Mitchell and Alexander Hemon are the writers for this one, of course, starring Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Yahya Abdul Mateen II, kind of replacing Lawrence Fishburne as the cool guy with the glasses that don't fall off, even though they're just balanced on the end of his nose. That's how cool he is. Morpheus, that's the name. That is the name. Jonathan Groff plays Smith as well. I think that's the guy who owns the uh, video games company. Jessica Henwick plays a decent character in Bugs. She's the one that kind of tries to hack the system. Neil Patrick Harris chews the scenery in this one. He is brilliant as the analyst. Jada Pinkett Smith is in there as well as Christina Ricci. And yeah, that's pretty much it for sort of well-known actors that you might know the names of in this one. Like I say, lots of exposition, lots of talking. I found this one incredibly boring, I've got to say. And, you know, a lot of people walked away disappointed from this one. And I was definitely one of those people. I'm not a Matrix fan by any means, but I appreciate the fact that it was pop culture back in the late 90s. It even had a phone release because the phone they used in the Matrix, people wanted it that much that Nokia, yes, Nokia, released the phone and it sold like hotcakes. That's the power of the Matrix. And I think realistically, they probably should have just let Sleeping Dogs lie on this one because it was unnecessary and it spends 50 minutes warming up and it's really really boring and I was just like get on with it. I mean, I usually go to the cinema on a Friday as well after a week's worth of work, and yeah, it's difficult when a film isn't interesting to stay awake, shall we say. And it, yeah, and you do go away wondering how this one even came about from the same people when the original was so good and it had that kind of pulling power. It loses its mojo, its superpowers, and it just doesn't. I mean, there's some really cool things here, but it's not good and it's infuriating and I saw people walking out going, "Oh, that was great." It's like, no, it's 2.5 hours worth of nothing. It was just bad. It was terrible. It was bland. How can a Matrix film be bland? And it's just really poor. Uh, Um, you know, like yeah, Neil Patrick Harris is probably the best part of this film. And he is absolutely phenomenal. He is phenomenal in this film. He carries it. He really does. It's often the villain that carries a film because you have to have a decent villain in order for the hero to be a hero, and it's what makes the film vaguely interesting, but nothing else. It is not good. I would not recommend this film, especially if you're a fan of the original, but also if you're just going into it as a neutral, it's not going to bring you around to watching the others at all. It's just not. It's bad. It's uninspired, it's convoluted, it has a scene where they're flying at the end, and it just keep it dormant, keep it to one side, let people have their memories of the Matrix. let them have their memories. And yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. Cannot recommend this one. And that was my thoughts on The Matrix Resurrections. And that is me for this one. That is, sullied the good name of The Matrix. And yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts on this one. I can't say any more because I'll just be repeating myself. So there we go. That's done. Anyway, I will see you on the next video. More movies coming. The cinemas are now open. Let's make sure that the new films are seen and heard, because there's a lot of films that are being buried under big releases that should be watched, and I want to make sure that people are aware of them. That is the Quick Shot Reviews way, and it will stay that way for a very long time, I hope. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. I've been your host, Lee. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.